There's an awful lot of Shetland words used for describing folk and different types of characters.
A couple of words I love to describe people is to describe somebody as overly or moderate, and they mean the complete opposite.
You might say that that person was lewd, halligit, brusque. You kent when they were around because that was part of their character.
You can be in fox faces, you can be cheeky, you can be jumping around, you can be just too much sometimes for folk.
You might even describe maybe a dog as being overly. They're just one of them dogs that just are constantly leaping up and wanting to get in your face.
It'd be the opposite of something that you might describe as being moderate. Well, it's moderate. It's somebody who's reserved, or kind of blended into the room or the atmosphere.
Whereas somebody that was overly, maybe unpredictable, and you never kind what they're going to do next.
I don't think there's many mums in Shetland that don't kind of word ulet, and it means a pretty monkey. There isn't a lot of malice in the word, it's just the kind of mischief that the bairn would get up to. And I would use other words like tyke, pisk, trucker. They all mean just a little mischievous monkey. If I was speaking in Shetland, it was a light-hearted chastisement, and I'd be running after them because they might have pinched something or taken a biscuit that they weren't allowed or something. If I was really annoyed, they would because I'd be speaking in English, and I'd be giving them their full name. But an ulet is somebody that's just got a pretty bit of mischief in them.
One of my favourite descriptive words is Shellpit, and I'll never forget when I learned this word, and it was when I was quite peerie, and I used to get 20 pence to go to the Scalwa shop on a Saturday morning to buy sweeties with my pals. And I remember this day we got to the shop and two of my pals bought a Shellpit dip, and when we came out the shop, my pals ripped open their packet, dipped it into the Shellpit, and then put the lolly in their mouth, and their faces just get like this, and they said, "Oh, that's Shellpit." And I was fascinated to what this Shellpit could mean and desperate to experience it, and I will never forget that feeling of putting the lolly in my mouth, and I feel that tangy, sharp, kind of bitter taste, and I just loved it. And yeah, that was the day that I learnt what Shellpit meant, and it stuck in my mind.
Yeah, on a Sunday morning in Shetland, you might easily hear a lot of folk where the previous evening could have been described as being a bit Paluvius.
I think there's no anybody in Shetland that doesn't know what that means. It's such a lovely word to it, has such a ring to it. There are probably various states of Paluvius, but the one that we associate most is pretty far on with the drink.
And has gone beyond that kind of sensible way to being a pretty bit overly and not quite in control of themselves.
You're maybe even making a carry on, you're lewd, you're overly excited, fan hour, and you're Paluvius.
And maybe when you're Paluvius, then Amazantas happen. And I heard once somebody that got miracled in a Amazanta, which is another two great descriptive words, because to miracle yourself is to injure yourself badly, to maybe fall down the stairs. You could easily do that when you're Paluvius. And a Amazanta is an accident, something that has gone wrong. You're maybe come off your bike or gone off the road with your car, you've had a bit of a Amazanta. So to miracle yourself in a Amazanta when you're Paluvius is something that could quite easily happen.